Hello guys and welcome to Vape Ireland, and this is my first video, and basically I'm going to call this video e-vaping for beginners, or just maybe the general people that are starting out, are people thinking about getting into e-vaping or e-cigarettes or vaping or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to cover the starter pack today, okay? Just because I've been vaping for about a week, and to be honest with you, I've done quite a lot of study. I've watched countless hours of popular YouTubers, and there's one guy I would recommend for everyone to go to. It's Robert Ellis, and just Google Robert Ellis vaping, or yeah, just go to YouTube Robert Ellis vape. It'll pop up. I think he's like 70 videos. He's not been doing it too long himself, and he's quite advanced at this stage, and he goes in depth quite a lot as well. So what I'm going to do, okay, this is mainly based towards maybe the Irish, EU, maybe even UK market to a degree. This video, because we're kind of new to it over here. We haven't quite caught up with the US, or basically the US. They seem to be the front runners with the e-vaping and everything else. So I'm going to get into it a small bit, okay? So if you're on this video, you're obviously interested in e-vaping, and you may be even new, okay? Or maybe advanced, I don't know. But what I'm going to go through is basically the starter pack, and I'm going to give you a little background to my story, okay? So I was in the store recently, and I was with my daughter. We were walking around the store, of course, and I seen the store corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh, it's an e-vaping store. So I said, I want to have a look. Went over, spoke to the woman. She said, try the flavors, so on and so forth. So I said, well, hey, what the hell? I'll try the flavor. So I tried it, and it seemed quite good. Seemed take a hit, and the taste was nice. I was getting the nicotine, and it was a new experience. And moving off the cigarettes, of course, is going to be a huge advantage. Moving towards this, we'll get into the ingredients and all the other stuff later on in the video, okay? But right now, I just want to talk about the starter pack. So, like me and so many others, you're going to go to the store like I did, look at it, get interested, and there's like countless options. There's countless options of what you can go for. But for any beginner, you really want to start off with what's known in the US as a stick battery, okay? So basically, this is a battery. I think this is a 1000 milliamp hour battery, and the one I got is called the Ego C Twist. Okay, and basically, what it is, the C Twist that stands for, is basically at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a little adjustable dial, and it goes from 3.2 volts up to 4.8 volts. And we'll go into volts and everything else. I just want to explain why you should get the starter pack first. So, number one, the what I bought it for in the store, and I understand why it's expensive at the store because they have overheads and everything else, but it was considerably overpriced compared to what you can get online and everywhere else. So this cost me €30 just for the battery, €30, and because I wanted the C twist. To cut a long story short, my father-in-law is vaping, and I seen him do it with the C twist. I never tried it, and the little basic information he gave me said, oh, you want variable voltage, the thing that twists at the bottom. So I went into the store that didn't sell a kit with the variable voltage. I had to buy it in parts, which actually ended up being pretty much the same price as the packs were. So it didn't really matter. So I bought the battery, I bought the charger, I bought a clarimizer, and I bought a spare coil. Now I'll go into that in a moment of what these things are. I'll actually get my little bag of goodies here, and I'll explain it in a moment. Okay guys, so basically what I got was the battery, a thing called a clarimizer, and basically this is kind of where the magic happens, but it isn't, and we'll go into that in a moment as well. So how these basically work is that this is the EVOD one, okay? Any vapor that's been doing it well will know EVOD. They're probably the most kind of Kanger or an EVOD are the most popular products, okay? With clarimizers and everything for the Ego ego product line, let's say. Okay, so how this basically works is that you have a tank. This is basically a tank, this long piece here, okay? At the bottom you have the round thing, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is a coil. This twists off, you fill the tank up, you don't, for the first time, I would say maybe 3/4 fill the tank, okay? Then anything after that, I would say maybe half. You don't need to overdo it. No, everyone is different. For me, I did it 3/4, and you have to keep it to the side because there's a chimney, so there's a tube running straight down the bottom. This is when you do your draw. It basically draws it up from the coil when it heats up, and vape comes through the chimney like a fire or anything else, and you get the beautiful vape and taste. So, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, I think. So I went ahead, got it, and I had a lot of problems to begin with, guys. Probably due to me not having a clue what they did, and the woman didn't really give me enough information. She was busy, I understand. It's a little stand. There's people behind me. She just wants to, move on to the other people that's waiting for the buy e-juice and is probably doing it a little longer than me. So I bought the battery, bought the claramizer, and a spare coil. It all in all came to close to €60, which in US would be about $80 to $90, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure the exchange rate. Hey, so cut a long story short, I went home. I got my battery. I charged it. The battery is pretty much charged anyway. To be honest, you got a nice little charger with it. It's a USB charger. Just plug it in. Has a light, red, it's not charged. Green, good to go. Simple. And it actually screws into the top of the battery. Up here, it has an inside thread and an outside thread. We'll get into that as well. So the outside thread is called a 510 thread, which is the popular EVOD and Kanger products. So we'll get into that. So basically, I brought it home. I got my juice that I said tasted nice there. Brought it home, put the juice in. You screwed in the coil, and basically I screwed it on and pressed the button, and vape came out, and I'm like, this is quite nice. But soon after, a few minutes, did I know that I was probably doing things wrong. So the tank itself started gurgling or giving me kind of a it's literally it's a gurgle basically. It starts bubbling, and you even get taste of e-juice in your mouth, and the vape is nice. Let's not deny that. The vape is nice. The juice on your tongue, not so much on your lips, and you even get kind of a burning sensation because they're quite acidic. So I goes, right, I'm gonna hop on YouTube. I'm a technician by trade. I should have done that to begin with and did a bit more research, but I was spurring the moment, why not? So hopped on YouTube, found one particular guy. I can't recommend him enough. It would be Robert Ellis. And he basically went through the Kanger product, how to clean it, the do's and don'ts, the maintenance. Okay? So I'll recommend that video to you guys. I'll even link it probably in the description because he's probably going to explain it 10 times, and the camera work is amazing as well that he does. So basically what happens, I'll give you a little bit of what happens when you're vaping, and the vape is coming through. The vape is liquid. Well, hey, it's a liquid. So what happens? A chimney basically, like in a fire, gets full of soot. This gets full of condensation. Your breath. And the juice itself. And what happens is that it kind of builds up, and you need to blow it out. So you literally unscrew it all. You also want to clean the battery because sometimes from the condensation it leaks down, goes into the battery. You're better off cleaning the battery as well. It's very easy. Piece of tissue, clean, and just blow down on the chimney with nothing in it, and you can even see it on tissue. There's e-juice and stuff coming out, and usually after that it works fine. Sometimes you get a leak or a bad seal, which happened to me, which I actually got 2 bad coils as well, and we'll go into that story in a moment. So the coil seemed to me a bit of a lottery, because after that day one, the coil started Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Get a burning sensation. I looked into it. It wasn't voltage. You can go from 3.2 volts up to 4.8. I was keeping mine at a 3.7, which is basically what the Ego standard ones without the variable voltage is set at. And EVOD with a ohms, which are the resistance of the coil, is about a 2 to a 2.5. So basically, yeah, I brought it home. I looked at the video from Robert, blew it out. Hey, it worked a treat. But the coils were bad. Even the spare coil was bad. So I hopped online. They were charging me €10, just €10, okay? €10 just for this piece, €10, okay? So hopped online, I found an eBay store, and they gave me 5 of these for €10, and that was including postage and packaging, which was amazing, and I got it the next day. So, I did the same thing, plugged it in and vaping away, and it was brilliant. The new ones were fine, the coils were great, not an issue at all, and I'm loving it. I'm head over heels for it. So after doing that, I kind of went more in depth into vaping. I wanted to know what's the next best thing and everything else, and then, I found out about these battery mods and everything else. We won't cover that in this one, and we'll do that in another film or another YouTube video, should we say? Because I've ordered my first mod, which is the Vamo V5. But when I get that, I'll use it for maybe a day or so. I'll upload what I think of that and everything else. So right now I have the stick battery. Now bear in mind, if you vape a lot or use it a lot, these drain so easy. You need to be near a computer or something. You don't really want to be stuck, needing that nicotine hit, and they're gone, and they go quite easy. So maybe one or two have them charged up and think them in. You can get them online on eBay or something like that for like as little as about 20 to 25 euro straight to your home. Okay, like I can understand why people want these. They don't look as big or as chunky or maybe as silly as the fake ones and stuff. And they're really good. I won't say they're bad. I just think the battery life isn't great, but it vapes really well. It does. I'll show you guys in a minute. I'll talk about that. So yeah, the gurgling is one thing you guys need to put up. It's a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of annoyance. The coils are a bit of a lottery as well. You can go on YouTube and there's people breaking down the coils, changing the wicks and everything. I wouldn't. There's no point in going into that. When you're new to it, you just want to basically, it works or it doesn't work. The first experience is basically everything. Okay? So, stick battery, Ego C-Twist, can't recommend it enough. Whoop, dropped it. Can't recommend it enough. It's sturdy, stainless steel. The only bad thing, the only downside for it is the battery life. But everything else, it's the best beginner. You're not going to get too much better vape from a beginner pack than this, and it really, you like the taste, you're enjoying your vaping, then you kind of move on if you want to kind of go to the extreme, should we say. So I went through a couple of flavors. Now I have a bit of a sweet tooth. I like the fruity kind of ones or the minty kind of ones. So in Ireland, we're very limited to the e-juice. So we have the Kang. I tried them. I don't like them. I don't know. I just don't like them at all. The Kang e-juice is a big no-no for me. There's an e-juice company in Ireland called Wicked. And I think they're done by healthiersmoker.ie. Okay, they're really good e-juice. It's decent quality e-juice. The only issue I have is that they don't tell you the PG and VG volumes and ratios of what they use. Different flavors seem to have a different PG and VG. And I really wish they did tell this. I understand the general public will probably go whatever, but there's going to be the small percentage of people that want to know what they're doing, what they're smoking, or smoking, that evil word, vaping. So this is the exotic fruits one. It's nice, I like it. My favorite one, which I'm actually out of, as you guys can see, is the mango. Mango's my favorite by these guys. Also, I have the big bottle of the Wicked Frost. It's called. It's a really nice, minty, fresh. It's an actual awesome vape actually. Really easy on throat hit and vape is just really really nice. But the only downside to these products, I would say, they do not really. What should I say? I really wish they tell us what VG and PG they are and stuff. Like, you can get the different nicotine levels. You can go from 0 all the way to 24, and then there's the in between. You have the 18 milligram, you have the 12 and 6. So I mean, you do get the good nicotine balance that you want. I can understand why people want to go to vaping, start high, work their way down to 0, and then hey, you're all good. You're just vaping flavor. That's it. So definitely, as a starter, guys, stick battery, Ego C Twist, the best one you're going to get. I run mine between 3.7 to 4 volts. 4 volts, okay? And yeah, that I can't really say go higher than that because the battery itself can get quite hot. Now, it's not the battery's fault why it gets hot. It's basically what it is basically you're using the Claramizer and the E-mod. Okay, they stick it in together, you know, they go like that. And let's say I'm going to set this, sorry, I've moved the dial a couple. I'm going to put this on 3.9. I'm going to see the vape. Make sure it's juice. There is juice. Nice vape, right? Really nice vape. It's decent. The taste is there. It's great. So what I've noticed is the battery gets hot when you overvolt the juice, and you get a burning taste. The flavor is gone. You get this kind of soury burn aftertaste. It doesn't taste good. What I would do is leave the battery cool down, even remove the EVOD basically, leave it plugged out for a moment or two. These are stainless steel, they're steel, they'll cool down within 2-3 minutes if they're fine again. Make sure you just change the voltage down slightly, make sure that the juice is coming in and it's not burnt and the flavour is there still. So definitely I would recommend these, they are good. But I want to talk about another thing. You're new to vaping, and especially the news over here, the government are like, oh, we don't know what's in it and all the rest of it. Like, we do know what's in it. It's general ignorance, and that's the only way I can put it. It's general ignorance that people automatically think it's bad. People have no problem smoking cigarettes, yet there's tar in it. And there's, I think, about 4,000 to 5,000 chemicals they can use in it that nobody even heard of, or what the hell they are, and they're nothing but toxins. And within the e-juice, there's 5 ingredients, and that is distilled water, propylene glycol, vegetable glycerine, nicotine, and flavoring. The same flavoring you get in your Coca-Cola, your 7-Up, your lollipops, your everything else. Just regular flavoring. Nothing suspicious. You can pick up 4 of these items in a wholesale store. You know, like Musgraves and stuff over here. I mean, vegetable glycerine is used in baking. So is propylene glycol. And the flavoring is flavoring. Distilled water is, you know, distilled water. So, and nicotine. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. There's no hidden chemical. There's no nothing. There's an agenda behind it all, of course. You know, there's huge tobacco tax in Ireland and most countries. The government get a fat wad of cash off it. They can't put a tobacco tax on this because it's not tobacco. But you still get your nicotine hit. And it's kind of the scare factor. The scare factor. When there shouldn't be really a scare factor. It should be, in my opinion, they should be kind of, I don't want to use the word rewarding, but they should be promoting this as a good thing to get away from tobaccos. But, you know, that's a lot of money off the exchequer. So, if you're going into your store, guys, with all means, you know, you pick these up for about €55 to start off with. You know, your Claramizer, your coils, your battery, your variable voltage. You got to get the one with the variable voltage. Each vapor, because I don't know the PG and VG level. So VG, if you get 100% VG, well, no juice can be 100% because there's other stuff mixed in. But what it's basically saying, it doesn't have propylene glycol, which basically VG gives you the big puffs of smoke, the big clouds of smoke, and the rolling smoke and all the rest. And it depends. A lot of people are intolerant to VG due to sugar reasons and how the metabolism breaks it down, and a 50-50 ratio is better, or everyone's different, hey? But at the end of the day, these are basically sugars. So, me personally, each one is different. Whatever way they're mixing and all the rest of it, I don't know. So, certain things need different voltages and things. But if you get the burning taste, just stop. Turn down the volt slightly. Give it a minute or two, because the battery gets quite hot if it starts to kind of burn and gets hot and stuff. Also, when you hear the gurgling that I talked about, stop it straight away. You need to clean this, and you need to blow this out and clean it straight away. The second it happens, do it, because you're going to keep going, going to keep going, and what's going to happen, and this actually happened to me with I'll get it. It actually happened to me with a cartomizer tank. I kept going. I was like, the gurgling is because it's new, it's primed, and yeah. Cut a long story short, it basically welded itself to this. The 510 tread, so the outer treading on this uses 510 tread. It basically welded itself. I had to get this to remove it, and I ruined the cart. I had to break apart the cartridge, and I retrieved the tank. The glass is still there, but lesson learned. If you hear the gurgling, take it out. There's a leak. There's either a leak, it's condensation buildup, you're going to get juice in your mouth, and it's either going to ruin your battery, and yeah, it's not a pleasant experience. Just that 2-3 minutes of attention to detail means you're going to be able to vape for longer. You continue just to get that little nicotine hit, and then you're without it because you've ruined something. You've broken the battery, or the claromizer's seal is broken, or whatever. So, flavor is down to everyone. Starter pack, definitely stick battery. Claromizer, EVOD, they're pretty much the same. You can get CE5s and CE4s, and then you can go to Pro tanks and all the rest. Just get the regular EVOD Claromizer to start off with. It's the generic one. It's the starter one. People love them. People still love them and use them to this day, and they swear by them. Other people use them, they like them, but they don't get enough flavor and stuff like that, and they go to the other ones, the Pro tanks, the mini Pro tanks. So, in my personal opinion, these are doing me fine. I've ordered a couple of things on the way. I've ordered a Smoke Tech cart and tank. I've heard some friends use it and they say it's quite good. I'm going to try it. I'm a little bit skeptical with carts and tanks at the moment. I don't know. I'm going to order a Glassamizer. I'm going to order a Pro Tank 2 and a Pro Tank 3, probably coming soon. And I'm going to test them all out and go with that. So, I'm going to end the video now, guys. It's been a long enough video. I've just went on basically saying stick battery, Claromizer, get some nice decent e-juice. If you're in Ireland, the Wicked brand is going to be the most popular one. And I'll put it up a bit closer. There we go. It's called Wicked. Sorry about the lighting, guys. It's quite nice. It's a decent e-juice. I don't think it's going to be the best e-juice, and it probably, compared to US brands, it may not be the best. But I do know it is made here in Ireland, which is always good, supporting local trade and everything. But I do wish they label the VG and PG levels. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. And as I say again, check out Robert Ellis Vape. Just go to YouTube, type in Robert Ellis Vape. He has tons of videos, tutorials, the do's, the don'ts, from the beginner to the just the everyday user, and to the more advanced. And the more advanced, using like the Kraken and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that personally, because that's probably too extreme for me. I think I'm going to stick to the atomizers and claromizers, but go to him. Okay, guys, if you want to contact me, you want me to review a product or anything like that, you can contact me at vapeireland@gmail.com. I'll be happy to do a review for the Ireland, UK market, or whatever. You got a new product, or you want me to test something, I have no problem testing. Put it on YouTube and, tell the general public how good, or unfortunately how bad it could be. So thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you guys soon, and enjoy the vape.